Hey everybody, it's your girl Robin L.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Brandy D.
And Killa with the Jello. Hello.
And last but not least, you have Hurricane Bryce.
Yes, and today we have the amazing Meelah from 702 joining us, and she'll be talking about her new projects and so much more, so stay tuned.
It's the throwback song. It's the throwback song. It's the throwback song. It's the throwback. It's the throwback song. It's the throwback song. It's the throwback song.
What's up? Thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thank y'all for taking me out of my regular 9 to 5 of being with my son all day, every day.
No, that's right, girl.
Oh
I
my
know.
God. Thank you. This is great. I needed this departure.
Yes,
You look amazing too. You look beautiful. You got the
Listen,
glow.
y'all gave me a reason to put on lashes, a reason to put on makeup.
Yes.
I'm around here looking at high mask. So thanks.
I doubt that. I doubt that.
It's been crazy. No, it's been
Yes.
it's been interesting to say the least with this whole virtual school.
Oh,
Yes. Well, speaking of that, I know that you have a beautiful son. And during this pandemic, I'm sure you are, like you said, mommy, teacher, chef, everything, right? How is it going?
You know, honestly, I've been kind of struggling, to be quite frank. I have been with my son. Well, first of all, I'm with my son 99.9 of the time anyway, right? But at least like before the pandemic, my outlet was going to the studio, working on my album. Like after I did homework, dinner, bath, he'd go to bed. I go to the studio till like 3 and 4 in the morning and take him to school in a few hours. And that was like every day for almost a year. But it was the grind, and I was like, this is what I got to do. It was the hustle. It felt at least like I was, doing what I needed to do. Yeah. Now, girl, it's just like, okay.
I feel you.
I'm just like, I have no creative outlet. Like I literally have to sit with him. Now he's in middle school. So we've had to transition from elementary to middle school, which is totally different. The hours are from 9 to 4 every day.
Wow.
That's a long time to just be like, dedicated and committed, and like not be able to. It is, and I'm not able to go and kind of like, I'm really not. And I do have help from my mother and his father. Don't get me wrong, but mommies, it's just different. We just, we just do things a little different. So I like, and now that I'm a control freak, I just know that I have to sit here with him, and so. Because he's special needs. And so, I have to sit. It's not like he's your average middle school age child who can just kind of be left alone and do his own thing. I kind of got to hold his hand, so to speak, throughout the whole daggone thing. So I really have no life right now.
Oh my goodness.
Like I have not been able to do nothing. So I ain't gonna lie. It's been challenging. I've had my days where I've just been like really emotional and like needing a damn drink at 8 in the morning. I don't do it. But I don't do it because then, honey, he'll get an F and won't pass for real. But one of us got to pay attention. But no, that's how I've been feeling like, But I'm good. I'm just grateful that everybody's alive and well. All my nearest, dearest friends and family are healthy. So that's the main thing. We're all, good.
Everybody's good.
Yes.
Yes, and that's the blessing. That is the blessing. But I understand. Listen, I have a nephew that I am like half homeschooling myself, so I get it. He's 5, and it's like, whoa. So I get it.
Right.
It's hard.
Right.
It's hard.
It's a lot. And like we said, we've been doing this since March, and then like over the summer, I moved. I just bought a house, so it's been just crazy time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
New house.
Thank you. That's definitely been that's been the silver lining in all of this. So I'm grateful.
Yes. That's great.
It's stressful. It's just been like one thing after another. And I'm like, oh child, you would pick a weird, interesting time to make that move. But so it's just like, Zach, I love you, boo boo boo. I need you to just go somewhere for 5 seconds or let mom. Right. You just been with me nonstop. I'm like, child, you in the U-Haul, you in the boxes, you just with me. Go. Do you have a play date? Look.
That's how it be.
It is what it is. Look, that's called being a mama. He glued to my hip.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I can't wait to join the mommy club. I'm excited for that journey. I know you and Shamari have beat me. I'm coming though. I'm coming. I got two beautiful women to learn from. Y'all have been there, done that. So I'm gonna need all the mommy tips for sure.
Shamari, she's the bomb.com. I don't know how she does it with two, honey.
Yes.
Because as you can see, my one has me all frazzled. Fried dilated.
Yeah.
I don't know how she get it done. I'm
It's
like,
two.
and they're little. Oh my God. Toddlers? Child.
Crazy.
But look, I tell everybody, don't rush. Look, don't rush, Brandy. Don't rush. It's time.
No, it's time. It's so time. But I understand that. I understand it's God's
it don't happen
time,
when it's supposed to, like, for sure.
Yes, for sure. So we're gonna take it all the way back. We're gonna take it back to the beginning, from when the world met Meelah. Okay. Yes. So tell us how you ended up joining the legendary group 702. How did that happen?
Oh gosh. Okay, let me see the short version. So we all went to a performing arts high school in Vegas, which is where we're from, which is the area code
702.
Right.
That's right.
And so they were a girl group before me. They were four. They were a quartet, not the trio that the world. Well, the world.
That was from when they
the world knew them as a quartet because that's
when they did the subway.
Put out this little game. Yes.
Right.
That was their the first time that the world was introduced to 702 was Subway song featuring 702. And at that time, I think Michael Bivins kind of just wanted to remix 702. And so because we were all at the same school, the girls, the sisters, Misha and Irish, came to me and were like, yo, so Michael Bivins wants to remix the group. So we're holding auditions. So will you come audition? So I auditioned and had to go through like this rigorous like boot camp trial for a minute. And then I finally got, I guess, the opportunity to go and audition for Mr. Bivins himself. And then it was myself and another young lady that auditioned at the same time. But he just decided to just keep me and make it a trio. And that's how it became a trio.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was, I guess to say the rest is history. But it was a trip. It's like I look back now, I'm like, it all happened so fast. It was like it happened like because I was going to school with these famous girls. I was already I was a fan of them. I'm like, oh my God,
right.
And I'm like, well, they got a song on video, so like
right,
yeah. So I was all excited.
That was a jam too.
Right.
I love that song.
Me too. I was like, it's this group and they got this song, so it was kind of weird when they were like, yo, we're when you come and audition, and I was just like, why? For what? Like, what? Huh? I was a little confused, but girl, I went on down there, honey. And
Yes.
Okay, I was like, why not? But it was, it was just the dynamic was crazy because we all went to school together. It was three sisters, Lamisha, Irish, and Orish, may she rest in peace, and their friend Amelia. So it was the four of them. So I kind of felt bad for a hot second, because it was already a group.
It was already a group.
Yeah, so that was a little awkward, and over time, unfortunately, that kind of, I think created some issues and just like, growing pains because we was already young anyway. Got to go through all those weird awkward moments.
Right.
But we worked it out. We figured it out. And thank God we were able to, give the fans some dope music and have those memorable moments and have me here today.
Yes, we're so happy that happened. We're happy the audition happened and you ended up in the group. That's what's up.
Me too. I'm like, God is good. I'll take it.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you this. Speaking of growing pains, tell me a little bit about the difference between being a solo artist, like what your creative process is, versus when you are in a group and you're having to deal with different personalities when it comes to making music.
Well, I think the difference for me was that I was never, I was always a one-man band, if you will. I had one sibling, my sister, unlike the rest of my family, couldn't sing to save her life, child. So, I was used to just singing by myself. But like my, group members at the time, they also come from a singing family like myself, but they have like 8 siblings. It's a lot of them, and so they were always singing together and talent shows together. They were always together collectively as a group, and so it was an adjustment for me, to join some other girls because I was just used to always being in these little local talent shows in Vegas, honey, doing my little thing by myself.
Right. Yeah.
But I was always a people person. I was always likable. I was always, I was easy to get along with. I got along with people. I was never that girl. No, I wasn't perfect, but I was never that girl that was confrontational and just always, starting drama. So it was a smooth transition for me. I never had like this, I'm the lead singer attitude, but I think unfortunately, because I just kind of by default became the lead singer, that's just kind of where maybe the growing pains began, just kind of trying to figure out how to own that and be proud of it and not dim my light because I was feeling bad because of the sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was just kind of, that always became a little awkward because I wasn't the lead singer at first. Remember, I didn't sing this little game. Lamisha did. She was the lead singer of the group, but I think by me coming in and then wanting to just do some remixes or whatever, and then me started to sing most of the songs, it just kind of created just like this awkward moment for a while. But we always figured it out and pushed through. And I think once we realized it is what it is, let us just do what we got to do, it got better. And over time, it got better. But it's just the realness of the business. You got to just be honest. Right. It's hard. It's hard being in the group. And I tell people all the time, listen, if I was her and that was my group and all of a sudden this chick came in randomly and I wasn't the lead singer, I probably would have felt the way too. I mean, that's just
y'all were so young.
And we were so young. Yeah, we were babies.
If you think about it now, you're looking at the big picture hey, we all winning.
Listen, you look at it now as a grown woman, it's like, damn, y'all, we was all getting paid the same. Why we just couldn't figure it out?
Right.
Because we couldn't make a record today. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. But, I said, look, I could see if I was getting paid more. I wasn't. And so I didn't understand it then. Why is it so? But I get it. I do. I can understand how feelings could be hurt. Yeah. Because that's a sensitive, scenario. But
I understand being in a 3-girl group, honey.
Being in a group is not easy. I tell people all the time, being in a group is not easy. It could be the greatest experience or it could be the worst experience. It's up to you, really. You just gotta play your lane, play your position, know your role, and just be okay with it. You know what I mean? And just be like, it's a blessing to even be a part of a worldwide known situation. Listen. Everybody has their fans. Just because I sang lead doesn't mean the other two didn't have their fans. People love Irish, people love Misha, people love us all for different reasons. But like you said, we was young, so you don't be looking at the detail.
Yeah. Because it's always like that. Think about when you were young, you were like, hey, I'm such and such. I'm everybody choose their member. So but
they do. Yeah, I did that too. I was Coco.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Listen, I just have to say this one thing. I remember, I think this was our first time meeting you guys as a group, right? And it was in LA at something we were performing at. And this was the first time Black and 702 was in the same building performing on the same stage. And it was always is it rivalry? We had never met at this point, but I think maybe the industry or people were pinning us against each other. Yeah. And our dressing rooms were across from each other, and y'all were in the hallway.
Oh Lord!
And we were walking in, and y'all was just looking at us like these bitches.
That's hilarious. Oh, child. Listen, I don't even remember, girl, but I'm gonna tell you what, all I know is every female group that came out around that time, they was trying to definitely make it this competition thing.
Yeah. I know. You know how they do it. We loved y'all. We loved you guys. Once we finally got to meet you,
right?
We clicked. It was no anything, but I just remember that moment. It was for real.
It's funny because I have memories of every group or celebrity that I've met, and it's funny the things you remember. I remember Natina, may she rest in peace, and I remember she called me one day, we had run into each other in Atlanta years ago and exchanged numbers we gotta get up, and she called me one day, and I think I was in Vegas at the time, and she was just so cool and just so sweet, and I'm just people love to just put these perceptions out there, what they think, how they think people are going to be. And it's she was so sweet and so cool. And you just don't know how people are until you really engage with them yourself.
Yes.
It's as Black women, we get a lot of negativity, child. Everybody think we are just attitude and ready to pop off.
For real.
Especially these days. It's like, actually, a lot of us are really sweet, actually. And it's genuine. Okay?
And we actually like each other. We actually get along. It's all good.
From day one. I remember you were sweet. Shamari was always cool. Tina was super sweet for the short time that I did get to engage with her. I've never run into any female group that I can recall that was like nasty to me. I can't remember that. Destiny Child was super sweet. Beyonce was super sweet. Like, I remember everybody.
Sweet.
Always. I've never gotten bad from anybody.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Which is really dope.
Meelah, speaking of great experiences, how was it working with Missy Elliott on hits like Stilo and Beat Me 911? Like, how was that working with Missy?
That was my song.
Listen.
Yes.
Which one? Beat Me 911?
Yes.
That's my group.
Stilo did it for me.
You killed that.
Stilo did it for me.
Thank you. You know what? I love Stilo too, though. That is my one thing about
Stilo. My cut.
You got the man in the video, girl. You had Jason Weaver on there.
Listen, I'm talking about Mr. Lion King himself, okay? Look.
Yes.
That's so funny. Jay Weave in the building. Shout out to Jay Weave.
Yeah.
Missy's always fun to work with. It's so crazy. I tell people to this day, I'm like, I don't care what nobody say. That darn Stilo could go like today, and it feels current to me still. I don't know why. That's like one of my favorite 702 songs. It's the beat. I love that record. But anyway, Missy's dope to work with. She's silly. She's she just likes to laugh and make jokes and be silly. She is so goofy. And she's crazy. She's so crazy. She's like a big sister. She was a big sister from the day I first met her. Like, we just clicked from day one. She like adopted me. And I was like I was like her little sister. And I worked with her outside of 702 too, and used to hang out with her outside of 702 as well, because we just created this bond. Like, she really was like a big sister, and I just used to watch her work in the studio. Like, this heifer is truly a beast. Like, she's so talented. I have never watched anybody work on that level, like as a female, especially. Like, not that we aren't as fly, but it's just, all the men tend to get the credit in the business, but just watching her, like, she really, when she gets serious in that darn studio, like, she like don't play, shut everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And writes a whole hit song in 30 seconds. Like, really, girl, you know writing a song that fast? Really? She's dope, though. I love Missy. She actually, I just spoke with her not too long ago because we were talking about the Versuz for Brandy and Monica, and I reached out to her like, I saw you on there, girl. Look, I saw you on your comments.
Oh yeah, it's all on there.
Yeah,
we were. The world was on that Versuz.
Oh yeah,
everybody. I know.
And they mama.
Right, and last night too. I saw her on the last night too. But I spoke to her about the Brandy Monica Versuz. Just like, hey girl, I saw you in the Versuz. She was like, hey sis, you was up in that concert. I was like, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And speaking of collaborations, Meelah, is there anyone that you haven't worked with yet that you would love to work with?
Oh, I'm sure. Girl, yes, I'm sure. Look. Oh, God, too many to name. God, it's just the industry has changed so much. So when I used to get that question back in the day, it would be like, oh, I love will.i.am. And I used to really want to work with John Mayer and God, who else would I used to say so many different people, and now so many different artists out. I'm just like, child, Kendrick Lamar,
Yes.
God, who else? Jasmine Sullivan is sickening. Luke, I love Luke James. Like, it's just so many. It's too many, y'all. This is not even a fair question. I just listen to a little bit of everybody.
Ooh, I can totally see this. Let's make it happen.
Yes.
Right.
Luke James and Meelah record is
yes, girl.
Yes.
And then so I can feel young, honey, and feel lit or whatever, child, with this cheer. And I love to work with little trap artists. Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Well, you look like a baby.
I know.
Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Look,
look exactly the same.
Oh, so don't feel like it, especially in this pandemic. I'm like, oh, I need to go out and get I need a little judge back. Oh,
I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, like I mean, it'd be dope to work with Missy again, just for that reason. We always had really good chemistry. And she, she's just such a creative. I would love to just see what she got these days, child. Her sound is ever changing, but. Really, honestly, I would love to work with anybody who wants to work with Meelah, honey. It's really simple. Anybody who would be willing to work with me, I'm more than happy to work with. You don't even have to have like a name or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not these days. Like, I just like to create. And so,
right.
Yeah, whoever want to work with me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So being that you came from a group that people think of, when they think of the 2000s, the early 2000s to be specific, they think of like 702, they think of TLC Black. Why do you think that as of right now, there have not been any new groups to make a staple in the industry like you guys did when you were out?
I think that, you know, the world, like I just stated, has just changed. The world has changed. The music industry has changed. And because of that, times have changed. It's unfortunate that groups have become one of those things that are of the past. It just is. I don't know if it's because we live in such a self-absorbed, selfish type of world. You know, everything is like selfies and me,
about me, about me.
And you know, right? You know, how I can, you know, do this on my time. It's just very. We're very cocky these days. I feel like social media and reality TV, I think, has really created this interesting personality amongst a lot of people. And you know, and it's so easy to be famous now. So I think people love the limelight, and I don't think that people like to share the spotlight much.
Right. Great point.
Honey, you can put a group together all you want to. I don't know how long it would last.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's very like, I'm the lead. It's about me. Follow me. Honey, me. So
I got the most followers. Everybody wants to see me.
It's crazy. I don't even try to compete with these. Listen to me. I need to do better on social media. I suck, but you know, I'm just like, this thing has created a monster in so many people. It's crazy.
Yes, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a narcissist.
But you know, you gotta follow the times. You can't get stuck. It's like you gotta keep up. So I try. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, Meelah, tell us about some of your upcoming projects. Like, what are you working on right now?
Well, as I said, I was going to the studio every night, child, finishing this album.
But now she's working on homework.
But I was.
Things change.
I could do it in the house. Like, I could go ahead and just, you know, pull out my little laptop and all of that good stuff. But sometimes you just need to be in a different space, in more of a creative space, outside of your home environment. Especially because my son is so loud. He be doing the most, and I be wanting to. He be bouncing off the wall. Will you hush? I'm surprised he's not banged on my door right now. Anyway, so I'm finishing my album. I was literally putting it out this year, but clearly everything has changed. I was a little disappointed about that, but honestly, I'm like, you know what? Y'all done waited this long, which I'm grateful for.
Right.
What's a few more months going to be? It has to be done right. I can't just release it now for the sake of running it out. It's September. 2020 is over. So I'm going to continue to fine tune this record and get it mixed and mastered as I was doing before the pandemic, dang it. And finish this project so that I can move on and do other projects or just do other things. I'm really transitioning into something outside of the music industry. I think I've pretty much run my course with the music industry.
Oh, wow.
I'm about burnt out. I am. And I really want to do some other things. I'm interested in a lot of other entrepreneurial ventures that I'm really passionate about and working towards. You know, I'm always passionate about my son and autism and his cause. So working on some things, you know, for that, just trying to create a line of clothing and paraphernalia and books, you know, children's books. And if I do music, maybe some more children's music. But I just really want I need to take a break from this music industry. Either definitely or period.
And I need that sometime, but you ain't gonna never lose that gift, girl.
I think it's a break.
It's something about your voice. The voice.
Well, thank you. I mean, I'm
yes.
always, every time I tell people that, I have to always make sure I tell God, like, yo, Lord, please don't take my voice. I'm not saying I don't ever want to sing again.
Right.
But you know, I'm in my 40s and I've been doing this since I was 17. And I just want to. You gotta do something different these days, as you can see.
Right.
People be on the gram selling tea. The people be on the gram doing all kinds of
what?
Girl,
15, girl.
15, 20. You gotta have. Listen, this pandemic made me say, okay, you are not one trick pony, boo. Like, figure it out.
Yeah, like you, girl, no, for real. It's like especially like, you know, if you came out back in, like you said, the early 2000s, or even like we came out in 96, you got to do something different. Like,
Right. Right.
I mean, I don't mind continuing to put music out, but at this point, putting music out is a hobby. Because music don't make no money no more. Unless you stay on the road, music ain't making no money, honey.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I'm thankful that, hey, I got 702 back together in 2017. We did a little touring from like 18 to 19. We had some shows this year that all got canceled. But you know, I'm just ready to do some other things. So I'm gonna put this project out so that I can at least check it off the list and say, you know, I did it. And go from there. Like I said, I'm just working on a few other business opportunities that are in the works that are too premature to talk about. But I'm excited to just get out of my comfort zone and try something different and challenge myself.
Well,
I'm excited for you, Meelah. I really am excited.
Thank you, guys.
That's awesome.
I too, honey. Because I'm over here like, okay, unless I just want to be a substitute teacher. Look, a substitute teacher for the rest of my life with my child.
Right, exactly.
Look, that don't
whatever you do, you gonna do it big, girl. You gonna do it big. But don't forget, you got some true fans out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm telling you, I got my whole playlist.
Come on, playlist. And see, and that really does make me want to keep going. That motivates me. Thank you for saying that, because that does motivate me to keep it going and don't give up with the music. But I just feel like, all right, let's just do some other things. You can always come back to it, you know.
Right. You just never know.
And look, we gotta get this Black 702 tour. We always talked about it. So if it's not a tour, it's at least a show,
a song,
a concert,
or something.
Right. We gotta make it happen. We always talked about it.
You're right.
So we gotta do that.
That would be dope. Now that I will come back to it. Look, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that would be really, really cool. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
That would be dope.
Yeah. But like,
So
like I don't mind.
Love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meelah, I heard you say earlier you watched Versuz last night. You know, so you being a singer, I want to know what was your favorite part, and are you Team Patty or Team Gladys?
Oh, don't do that. Oh. Okay. So first of all, let me just be honest and say that I only watched like the first 45 minutes, because then it got disconnected or something, and it said like,
right, and it came back.
So of course, being the busy mother that I am, I didn't even go back and tune back in, because I was finishing dinner with my son and cleaning the darn kitchen and trying to get him in the bed for school today. So I didn't even tune back in. I saw half of it. But I am going on Versuz. My sister was like, you can go on Versuz TV and see it. It's up there, the whole thing. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go watch the rest of it, because I heard Patty doing moves, baby.
He was.
You know she gonna kick the shoes out.
Listen, I gotta say that's a hard one, because I like Patty's her stunts and shows.
Right.
She gives all the theatrics, but I gotta say Team Gladys, because that I love her rap. I love her rap and her tone, and Miss Patty hits them high notes. Don't get me wrong, she sings too, but it's I've always just been very, very intrigued with Gladys Knight, always.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if I could play her in her movie, honey, I would love to do that.
Yes.
You never know. You never know.
You never know. Now that's one piece of entertainment I might come back for. Look.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna put that on the list. We're gonna put that on the list.
Bucket list.
Yes.
I'm Team Gladys.
That would be awesome.
They're both good though. You know what I like the fact that they set up there and it was like, it felt so genuine, like they wasn't rivalries, you know, they didn't have no past beef. If they did, we never knew about it, you know. It felt so good, like a real true sisterhood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And things were different, you know, they stuck together. Like they said, you know, we've been through a lot together. They overcame a lot. So you know, they probably had no choice. You know, you have to think about when they came out, like they still were dealing with segregation and just different things like that. They had to stick together.
That's true. Yeah, our racism was real prevalent. That's so true.
Right.
Like 50s, because they what did they say? They were 77 and 76 years old.
Yeah.
And I heard Dion came out too.
She did.
Yes, Dion. Yes.
Lord, I'd have missed that.
Amazing.
Look, y'all, let me go look at this verse.
They gave it.
I heard she 80. That's so dope. Like
I know. And then to look how they look.
Amazing.
We're
They
beautiful.
look
We're
amazing,
beautiful.
sound amazing. Oh my God. Just
Gladys was singing. Listen, Gladys said, how about this? I'm about to sing my songs for real. She said,
yeah.
Gladys was singing live.
Girl from
Loved it every moment.
That is hilarious. She Like, watch
It was
this.
so good. It was so
That was good. I think it's so awesome, that whole Versuz moment. I think that is so dope that Tim and Twist created that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great concept.
Right.
It is real dope. It's crazy because I know people hit me up all the time like, "Hey, y'all should do a Versuz." I'm like, "Child, no, we should not. Sit down."
Oh, I know. They want us to do a Versuz. Like, we hear it all the time. Yeah, I know.
I'm like, no, sit down. We only had two. I'm like, we only had 3 albums, or really 2. Unfortunately,
We're gonna play our good 3 songs.
Right. Right. I'm like,
our Versuz is like,
I know.
good.
He was like, y'all need to go Versuz. I'm like, Miss, come on, girl. I think she's trying to work on something. I know her mind. She's trying to figure it out in her head. I'm like, girl. Listen, don't get me wrong. If Tim and them came to look, I ain't gonna front.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, girl,
like,
it's the album cuts for me, okay?
Okay.
It ain't even the singles. It's the album cuts for me. Y'all can just
that's a true fan.
I was about to say that's a real fan and that's a real music lover. That's when you know the songs that ain't the singles. Okay.
Right. That's right.
Okay, so Meelah, every episode of the Throwback Zone, we play a game.
Yes, ma'am.
We play a game. Since we're talking about Versuz and we're talking about Patty and Auntie Gladys right now. So the questions are going to be based on them.
Okay.
Okay, so let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready, girl. I need a drink. And this just, I ain't got no drink. I got water. Shoot.
I'm doing like me.
Yeah, H2O.
We all got water tonight. It's all good.
Okay, so the first question.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did Gladys say her man was leaving?
And I just told y'all I didn't see, Georgia, but didn't I just say I ain't see this house?
Okay.
On the midnight train to Georgia? Is that it? Okay.
That's right.
Yes, you got it right.
Good job.
Okay. According to Patty, who loves you?
Ooh, somebody.
Yeah.
That's my joint.
That's my favorite one.
That's a groove. I do love that
Yes.
song.
Yeah, look, every time I'm feeling a little down, I ain't met my future husband yet. You know, I just cut that record on and, you know.
It makes me want to cry, girl. That's the most song.
It is.
Yes.
Had me all of my feelings.
Oh,
Right. Okay,
Lord.
so the last question, this is finish the lyrics.
Oh, shoot. I'm the worst. I can't even remember my own. Go ahead.
I'm keeping hope alive. Let's see if you could just even give us a piece of the lyrics. Okay. So the last one says, he's the right kind of lover.
He's the right kind of lover. I know that's Patty.
Just sing it. You're going to get it.
Say for me.
You know what? I'll take that. We'll take that.
Wait, is it for me? Find out something other. I
You
don't
said
know.
he's the right kind of lover.
For me, I'll never find another.
Yes, I'll never need another.
Yes.
Look, I don't remember that.
You was close.
Okay.
You was
Yes.
close.
We'll let you make it. We'll let you. You did good. We'll let you make it.
Look, I was close-ish. Look.
Oh, Meelah.
That's hilarious. Girl, I know where I was on stage in a heartbeat, baby. Over the bird. Oh my God, it's terrible. I heard Miss Patty was asking for a teleprompter, honey. That's me all day.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's funny.
Definitely. Listen, we are so happy that you came to hang out with us.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
y'all.
Meelah.
Randy, thank you for asking me and for having me, girl.
Of course.
Sorry, I'm all over the place, child, but
No, you were great.
Oh, you're great. It's all good.
okay, we got it done. We made it happen. Thank you so much. Oh,
Yes.
I'm in a little Cocoa Puffs over here. Brandy hit me up and I was like, okay, I'm gonna hit my manager. Okay, you didn't get the email.
It's
We
all
got
good.
it.
We got it done. We got it done.
This was
I
fun.
love
This
you
is one of
so
my
much.
honestly, this is one of my most fun Zooms I've done. Interviews.
Oh, that's good to
Yes,
know.
this was dope. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Well, we can't wait to hear that project.
Thank you, girl.
2021. Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
And we want to play
I've been
Gladys.
15 plus years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for you. I'm looking forward to you playing Gladys in that
Oh,
biopic.
yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yes,
putting
I
it
You
out
play
there.
Gladys.
Put that interview.
Yes.
I'll
We
take
get
it.
it.
Thank you. I will take it. And that Brandy and Shamari and Meelah Misha Iris, that 702 Black,
Yes.
tour.
I'm
or
here
whatever.
for it. I'm here for it.
All of it. We
I
doing
am
it.
too, girl. Look, work is work. We'll take it.
We'll take it.
Sure.
We will take it. I love you so much, friend. Thank you for coming and hanging out.
Of course.
Thank you, Meelah. So pretty.
I know.
So pretty.
Glowing. I was like, honey.